The Sudreh is made of 1. White cotton cloth only. It must have these important features. 2. Must be made from 1 strip of cloth. 3. Must have 9 and only 9 seams. 4. Must have length up to the wearer's knees. 1. White cotton works significantly to keep the effects of drudge in check by eliminating perspiration from the skin and by refracting some of the harmful rays of the sunlight. Cotton, being a natural fiber, is very conducive in absorbing and retaining the resonant frequency of the mantra. Every atom in the universe, every object, every energy level has its own inherent resonant frequency. The utterance of mantra sound has the ability to destroy or alter the composition of substances. For example, an army never marches in unison while crossing a bridge because the resonant frequency of the marching can cause the bridge to oscillate to the frequency of marching, resulting in subsequent collapse of the bridge structure. I want to throw in a little side note there. I don't know if any of you have seen that video recently, but the guy has the speakers going in the trunk of his car, and it looks like the metal around his window frames is actually waving back and forth. So that's kind of an example of that there, actually, now that I think of it. But I never thought about it as far as armies marching across bridges. Various frequencies light are directed by doctors to replace invasive surgery, as in the case of kidney stones. Similarly, Sudreh Kusti have their own inherent energy level that is dependent on the wearer's personal electromagnetic energy field in correlation to thoughts, words, deeds, and utterances of Mantravani. The resonant frequency of cotton and Mantravani effectively combine to destroy judge and create a positive shield around the body. The color white is associated with purity. It is the emblem of our religion, which pivots around the practice of Ashoy, purity. Meher Yasht 31. Shpet Danyayal Mazdiyayash Nayes Upamanim. White color is the sign of the Mazdiyazi religion. White also contains all the different spectra of light. This serves to remind us that there is unity and diversity. Everything in the universe, including the different religions, are manifested on earth according to the divine will. Each religion is required to serve the manifold spiritual needs of humanity. Each soul is born in a specific religion for a specific purpose. The soul, being immortal, partakes of his omniscience and knows before birth which religion will best serve its spiritual needs. It is prudent to follow the religion of birth during one's lifetime and gain spirituality from the disciplines and institutions of that particular religion. This is the basic requirement for a spiritual life, since it demonstrates obedience and surrender to his will. This illustrates why Zoroastrians do not proselytize but encourage followers of other religions to adhere to their own, just as white contains different spectra, divine wisdom contains and reflects itself through the different religions. 2. Sudreh must be made from 1 strip of cloth only. 1 strip of cloth reminds the wearer that everything that exists is interdependent and is created by him. It represents the universal brotherhood existing in nature. The shirt is needful to be perfectly pure white and single, which the fold is because Vohumanan also is thus the one creature who was first, and afterwards from him the garment, which is innermost and concealed, is called in Revelation. The other rationale for sewing the Sudreh from 1 strip of cloth is also to remind the wearer that all the 9 parts into which the soul is divided, namely Fravashi, Bayad, Arvan, Keherp, Tavishi, Ustan, Hastabish, Gita, Tanu, must eventually merge into one complete union called Kaid Vadat. When all the souls have achieved their individual Kevadat, the final aim of the creation, to unite with Ahura Mazda, thereby celebrating the divine event of Farashagard, will be attained. 3. The Sudreh must have 9 seams and only 9. If torn and patched or stitched, these are considered as additional seams, and the Sudreh loses its efficacy. Extra seams, in fact, hinder the occult property of 9 from performing its beneficial work of the spiritually progressing the soul. 9 seams are Girdiu, Yereban, and 4. 2 seams at the sleeves, 5, and 6. 2 side seams, 7, and 8. 2 triangular tieri seams at the hem, and 9 1 straight tieri. Alright, and if I can get this background to show here, try to get to show, there you go. Well, okay, now you can see, I don't know if you can possibly zoom in on that, but you can see the illustration, and it has the titles there to the seams and everything. 1. Girdiu is on the nape of the neck and symbolizes the law of Shah, which is immutable. Shah works through the law of universal adjustment of action, followed by matching reaction. The Girdiu reminds the wearer to perform good deeds. Its position at the nape is occultly significant as it is placed in the position to the center of spiritual energy located in the throat. It acts as a constant reminder to utter words and to speak truth. 2. Geraban Kese Kerefe is a tiny bag-like receptacle over the chest. In the proximity of the heart, it is commonly referred to as the bag or measure in which we store our good deeds. The heart is the fountain source of spiritual energy. It is the dwelling of divinity. Our conscience, the voice of Serosh, resides in the soul heart. Geraban is the keeper of the conscience and reminds us to gather good deeds as spiritual nourishment. The soul is mystically judged on the 4th day, Cha Rum, by the weight of the Geraban. 3 and 4. We are reminded by the 2 horizontal seams on the sleeves that the 2 forces, Angaramenu and Shmentamenu, or darkness and light, also referred to as matter and spirit, coeval until matter is alchemized to spirit. The seam on the left sleeve symbolizes the left hand of darkness, Angaramenu. The seam on the right sleeve symbolizes the right hand of divine illumination, Shmentamenu. It is the duty of every Zarathushtri to voluntarily convert Angaramenu to Shmentamenu, ignorance to wisdom, by choosing the path of Ashoy, purity, in every action and decision and word uttered. 5 and 6. The 2 side seams remind the wearer that the spiritual and corporal worlds are united into one whole. Through the proto-physical and physical bodies, we partake of both the worlds. It makes us aware that the Hasti and Nisti are interlinked within us and also outside of us. The atoms that constitute the physical body are of the same composition that the heavenly luminaries are made of. Therefore, we are verily the offspring of the divine universe. The Gitas reveal that the spiritual Manyava is essentially connected to the spiritual Yetiao. Matter is a container of spirit, and the 2 are coexistent. As offspring of the universe, our consciousness is one with it because life transcends the space-time continuum. Therefore, even at death, because the deeds performed in the corporal world have reciprocal consequences in the spiritual world, Sudreh Kusti symbolically accompanies Zarathustri's soul on the future cosmic pilgrimage. 7-8. The triangular tieri line at the circumference for women, these are stitched on the right side, remind the wearer of the Trinity and importance of good thoughts, words, and deeds. And the 3 stages of creation, which created Hashti, Nisti, and Geti in order to progress the souls on their long spiritual journey from these realms back to Ahura Mazda, from whence they came. 9. The 1 straight tieri for women, it is stitched on the right side. For us in men, Sudreh, it is sewn on the left side. It reminds the wearer that Ahura Mazda is one, although he has created different religious species and multifarious